away from a £2 million job a year to run a YouTube channel, do you think I'd do the work that I do for money?
I'm not talking about that you do it for money. I'm just saying if you had the option to sign between two publishing contracts, right, and all things being equal, one's going to penalize you for being in the top 1% and the other one's going to reward you for being in the top 1%, would you of course you would go with the normal, like if all things being equal, you want to write a second book anyway. It's the same for entrepreneurs. When entrepreneurs start companies, we can either start them in high tax economies or with a stroke of a pen, start them in low tax economies.
I think the rich world is going to have to start rethinking the fact that it allows people to, very, very wealthy people, to own enormous amounts of their physical wealth, go live overseas and not pay tax. I think that has to be revisited for sure. Like, because what you're saying is, I want the benefit of being able to sell to the US market and the UK market, but I don't want the obligation of having to pay US and UK taxes. And you are correct that at the moment, the US and UK governments allow that. And I think that's phenomenally
US taxes you on worldwide income.
Well, only a small amount, right? So I think that realistically, I think that the US and UK governments have to stop that. But the way I see it, the US and UK governments and increasingly a lot of global governments are kind of being brought up by the elites. And, you know, we have Elon Musk is basically the president, right? And we had Rishi Sunak, whose father-in-law was one of the richest men in the world. Like, if you're Rishi Sunak, who, for our American viewers, was our prime minister until very recently, his father-in-law is one of the richest men in the world. He's got £700 million personal wealth. He's going to be making 30, 40 million pounds passive income. And you're getting paid 130 grand a year to be prime minister. When you're making policy, do you think, maybe I'll ask my father-in-law what it wants?
Yeah.
You know, the fact is, what you're seeing here is, if you allow the rich, I'm never ever against entrepreneurship. I'm not against people getting rich. If you allow the rich to get richer and richer and richer, they squeeze the middle class and they squeeze the poor class out of things like housing, of things like space in cities, of things like energy, and of things like owning, sharing government and owning, sharing the media.